I'll do the donk.
Like
Just
we
brother and sister
I will
hang out.
follow Club Donk.
Yeah, chatting about media. Lol.
No!
Donk.
Report!
Okay, we're here at the end with number 7.
We made it.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Okay. 7 done.
This is the one that I've been wanting to talk about the most because, like, I guess it sums everything up and it's where everything comes out. So it kind of, like, refers to all the other story plot lines and shit.
Yeah, it really, like, wraps up all the other little, well, sort of.
Yeah, this one and the 6th one were the ones I remembered least for some reason. I don't know why.
I felt like when I reread them, I felt like I wasn't even sure most of the time if I had ever read them.
6 and 7.
Yeah.
I definitely read them because I knew what happened. Especially, I remember I was in high school when 6 came out and someone, like, what's it called? Spoiled me about Dumbledore. I was like, fuck you!
That's pretty bullshit.
She was a bitch too.
Oh, she sounds terrible.
She was like a real annoying girl who moved down from Auckland and was real snooty about Wellington, and then everyone hated her, and then she was all soppy about it, and it was like, well...
Don't be a bitch then.
Anyway. Yeah, a lot of the plot points in 6 and 7, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I definitely know the movies better. So like I know the stories, but there was some bits of, you know, like in 6, the Runa Waslib thing, that was so like when I got to that bit, I was like, I've read this book.
Oh yeah. Is that not in the movies?
I don't think so.
That's what movies do, bro. Like book adaptations. They're like, just take the bones of a story and turn it into a normal, boring film.
Yeah. They really water it down. It's fucking bullshit.
It's disturbed.
Disturbed.
Yeah, so like this one like really varies in its like structure too. It doesn't have the whole like, I mean, it starts with him at Privet Drive, but it doesn't have like the kind of like year structure in the same way that the other ones do.
Yeah, I even wondered when I was reading it, does it take place? It does take place over 1 year, I guess. But the only reason you know that is because they go back to Hogwarts and everyone's there, you know?
Yeah, I definitely lost track of time a bit too, but they talk about the seasons changing and that worst part, that terrible bulk of the book where they're like just camping and like moving around aimlessly. It's like all winter and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that beginning bit when he's leaving Privet Drive, that's something that like is so shit in the movies. Like nothing happens in the movies, and in the books it's like he has that really nice moment with Dudley.
I know, I didn't remember that.
I don't think you're a waste of space. And it's
like,
oh,
it's like, whoa, finally progress.
Yeah,
I know. I was like touched by that. I was like, oh my god, Dudley is becoming human.
Yeah.
Which kind of like
redemption arc.
Yeah, that doesn't happen much in the whole series with other characters. Like the thing about Draco.
Like, yeah. Well, sort of with the Malfoys, you get a bit of that at the end, but it's not really like redemption. It's just like not
kill them
bad anymore. You know?
Yeah.
And also like they do it for selfish reasons anyway. Like they don't kind of change sides because they don't believe in Voldemort.
No.
Narcissus is like, I'm worried about my son. and I care more about my son than Voldemort.
Yeah, it's more like that Slughorn, like good side of Slytherin kind of buzz.
Yeah.
Better side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then,
I mean, Aunt Petunia like came around a tiny bit towards the end too, but Vernon didn't. He was like
he's a bitch.
bitter till the end.
Yeah, he sucks. He's so like repressed, you know?
It's pretty sad, even though Privet Drive was like a horrible place for most of the books. Like, it's kind of still like, oh, at the end. And actually, in my mind's eye, like Privet Drive is like our old Queen Street house.
Oh, true.
Because like, which is weird, because like when I started reading the books, we weren't living there anymore, but like we
Yeah.
just moved out of there maybe. And like a lot of the setting is kind of like molded in around like the cupboard under the stairs, and like the format of the house is like that house.
Yeah. Buzzy.
Yeah.
I don't remember that house at all until, you know.
Yeah, the other family moved in there.
Anyway.
Yeah, I thought that scene where they all turn into Harry was real lols.
You know, so funny, eh?
Yeah, like they all just start getting changed, and he's like, "Hey," and Fred and George are like, "We're identical."
Yeah, it's real funny that he's like, no one's really like respecting my privacy about my body.
Yeah, and like the way they all react to it really shows their characters as well. Like,
yeah,
the twins saying that, and like Hermione's like, Harry, your eyesight really is terrible.
Yeah, and isn't Fleur like, Bill, don't look at me. I'm horrible. You can't say that, bro.
As if he's going to be looking at you as Fleur when you're Harry and he knows Harry. Hey, I wonder if you take like a tiny bit of Polyjuice potion and you just change like a little bit.
How much do you have to take?
It's really not clear, and it seems like they're pretty loose about it, and like they can just take little bits. Like, what's his name? Barty Crouch Jr. / Moody.
Yeah.
And he just seems to be kind of like sipping it all the time.
Yeah. But if you just have like a drop, does it just like have no effect?
Well, so it's supposed to last an hour for some reason, which is weird because that's like a really short and really specific amount of time.
Well, no, so how is it not related to how much you ingest? You know?
Well, you tell
like
me.
If you drink a
it's
liter,
magic.
How much would you?
You like drink too much and you become like more the other person than they are. Like some like weird like devolved version of him or some shit. Like that weird like wet slimy thing that's in Harry's heaven when he dies.
Oh, yeah. The essence of them. I thought that whole beginning bit was really sad. I think I cried when Hedwig died, and then again when you find out Moody died.
Wow, you're really getting it in.
Yeah. I also cried when Dobby died.
They really brushed over Hedwig though, and even Moody, they were like, all right, he's dead, let's have a whiskey. And then they're like, right, on to the wedding or whatever.
Yeah. And I think I found it so upsetting because it was like, we don't really even know Moody. Like, we never even really got to know much about him.
No, maybe no one did though.
I mean, they've all been working with him for a few years though, but yeah.
But he's super paranoid and like secretive and shit.
Yeah, he's a bit...
Everyone knew where he lived though.
What? Yeah.
Everyone knew where he lived. Like, I mean, Barty Crouch knew where he lived.
Yeah. You think he'd be a bit more secretive about that?
Yeah.
I wondered why they couldn't just like they went to such a huge effort and put so many other people at risk by making them all into Harry. Couldn't they just like
Make
put him
Harry into
under
someone
the
else.
Holy Cloak and like then transfigure into the Dursleys or something? Or like polyjuice into the Dursleys and then drive somewhere?
Yes. Or like turn into like, I mean, anything. I mean, yeah, like go invisible and just have a really inconspicuous exit, like that they can't see at all. Harry by himself.
Yeah, just send him off by himself.
Yeah, that's pretty weird because like they wouldn't really be able to detect him if he was just by himself, like under his broomstick. But the fact that like the spell breaks as soon as he leaves or something meant that they could find his or locate him or something.
Yeah, but not him, right? That was about like then they'd know where the Dursleys lived specifically.
Well, they should know that anyway, really. Like that would be the easiest information to find out, but they can't like physically find it. But they should know the address, right?
Yeah.
So they could have been way more on top of it too. Like they could have been standing out right outside.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense, any of that shit, eh?
Yeah, Hedwig's just drops off, eh? Like no one gives a shit really. Like no, they don't even talk about it.
Yeah. How does she die again in the book? Because I remember it's different
The
from
the bike's like unreliable, and it like Harry drops the cage, but then he sees it get hit by a killing curse.
Yeah. Yeah, they changed it in the movie so that she's flying, she's not in her cage, and she flies in front of a killing curse to protect Harry.
Nah, that's dumb.
Well, it's a bit more meaningful than just falling out of the motorbike.
Yeah, but like it's kind of like not what the story was going for. It's more like the tragedy of waste.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's his buddy.
And it just never comes up again. At the end, he's not like, I'll never have another owl, or I'm going to get another owl, or next time I'm going to get a cat, or like whatever. Or at the very end, I think the kids have pets.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the stuff like I wanted there to be a chapter.
Wait, we're getting to that.
That stuff, you know?
Bro, I wanted a whole book of that shit. Like, I've got so many questions, or just like, yeah, I would just really enjoy that aftermath.
Yeah, when I feel like Harry's got so many years of like traumatic experiences to deal with.
Yeah, like would it hurt to have like a nice book? Like a whole book that's just nice stuff. There's no evil guys. There's just like, it's like a social book, a happy book.
Yeah. How fun would that be?
That'd be fucking sick. I heard about a thing like that recently. Like, there's this anime that's like a kind of fantasy action. I haven't actually seen it, but there's like all these offshoots of it. But there's one that's just like them doing daily life and like cooking and shit. And like there's no action or fighting or like whatever.
I love that shit. I watched Criminal Minds, and there's one episode of that where they're not working on a case. Like, most of them are hanging out assembling a crib for one of the guys on the team who's going to have a baby. And one of them like goes on a date and they're all just like kind of drinking wine and hanging out, and like it's so nice.
It's like how every anime has like a beach episode.
Yeah, I always loved those like filler episodes of anime. Like I always remembered that episode of Naruto where the only thing that happens is in the episode is that they're trying to get off
Kakashi's mask. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like a bit of silly fun to like break.
A bit of that is cool, and it's actually quite world building as well.
Yeah, when it feels then like you know the characters better because you're not just there for like the intense moments or like the dramatic moments or whatever, you know? You're like just hanging out with them.
Yeah. I like that.
I like that too.
They have that in One Piece too. Like some days, like they're just like, oh, not towards the end, but more towards the beginning. They're just like hanging out on the boat, like traveling to the next island and shit.
Yeah, when I like in One Piece how there's all those like little bits that don't really have any big effect on anything, but it's just like something that happens to them. You know, like that big whale that they meet.
Oh, no, that comes back.
Oh, okay.
That story picks back up later. We were just watching it again recently and we got to that bit.
I really liked that though.
The one that's attacking the mountain, right?
Yeah, because its friends left.
Yeah.
And didn't come back.
Laboon.
That was really sad.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I thought it was a bit far-fetched to be having a wedding like on the eve of Voldemort taking over the ministry. Not that they knew that was going to happen, but they kind of knew.
Yeah, I know. It's quite funny. I guess it's like, I don't know, trying to be optimistic or like just get it done while you can, you know? Like have a nice thing while you might still be able to have it.
Also, they had it at the Burrow.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I guess have the wedding fine, but do you really need to have like everyone there? Like,
apparently,
all those other people.
They're like they're like a big old traditional family, though. Really, pure blood family.
I know. I don't mean like generally. Why would they have a wedding like that? I just mean like if the war's coming, would you not just have a wedding that's like the Weasleys?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Fine.
But they chose not to.
But
they could have had it like out on the beach, like in their new house and shit.
Yeah, but
like a place no one knows about.
Like, are talked about at the wedding that then become like vital information later, you know? Like
plot wise.
The
yes. The Illuminati thing.
Yeah.
What's it even called? The Hallows. Does it have a name?
I don't know, because what's his face calls it the Mark of Grindelwald. But
it's not.
No.
The Mark of the Deathly Hallows. It's not. He just drew it on the wall. No, there's no other record of him using it.
No, but then it's been like attached to him retroactively, you know?
By one guy, by Crumb. Man, that shit in the lead up to the wedding with Mrs. Weasley being all like trying to keep them apart and hassling them and pushing them and shit. I'm like, oh man, they really amped up her being annoying.
Yeah.
And like whiny, naggy wife character.
Yeah. Real like stereotypical annoying wife.
And they're actually trying to do something really important. And she's like, you've got to come and help wrap the presents. It's like,
I know. But it's like as if doing any of that shit is going to stop them doing what they need to do. You're just not helping them to prepare. Like,
yeah.
You're not helping yourself, bro.
You're making it easier for them to die.
Yeah. I think one of the saddest things in the book is Hermione obliviating her parents.
Yeah. They must come back though, right?
But can you unobliviate someone?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess so, but then I guess she has to go to Australia and find them.
They really brush over that too, eh? Like, what? That should be in the final chapter, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because she just like
There's no admin at the end. That was the problem for me.
Yeah, there's no actual wrapping up of any of that stuff. Like, she wraps up the Hallows and Voldemort and the Horcruxes.
Yeah, but which
And
is quite
that's
a
it.
recent development in the in this grand scheme of the plot.
Yeah.
Well, the Horcruxes is kind of brewing from the beginning, but like you only find out about them in the 6th book, and the Hallows in the 7th book.
Yeah. And there's no, like, you know, what is the other twin doing post-death?
Yeah, there's like a tiny bit of like Percy's working at the school, and like you don't know what Harry and Ron are doing, or Hermione, or
Who's the headmaster now?
I don't know, but I feel like it should be McGonagall.
That's
Oh,
what I
Neville's
would-
working at the school too, eh?
Yeah, which is cute.
Yeah,
Quality.
I think he could have gone further, but whatever.
But it's so weird that, like, you know, in that last chapter, she puts in things like, oh, Teddy's making out with our cousin. It's like, okay. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, it's not his cousin.
I don't care about that.
Everyone's
don't
someone's
tell me
cousin.
Bro. Stupid.
I saw this post that was like, Harry like named his son after 3 manipulative men, and then like there's like a picture of Hagrid, and it's like, I looked after you every year for 6 years. But
I think that. I don't know why he named him after Severus.
of course, yeah, because of the thing with his mom, and because like of all the stuff, it turned out he actually did all this stuff that was really important. But also like,
No, but he was also a cunt. Like,
yes, that is a big
and
downside.
Hagrid did all these really good, caring, loving things and was not a cunt, you know?
But also like, who's the third one? Albus Severus Potter. What?
Yeah.
His dad.
Wait, what?
Who's the third manipulative man? His dad.
Potter.
Well, Sirius.
All the Potters.
Anyway, I mean, like, not really. Like Dumbledore was secretive for a reason, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it worked out. So it's like, well, it paid off. It's not like he was like just doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah, it's not like he just wanted to own all the information. I was like, I'm not sharing.
And Snape was like deeply disturbed. So like, you know, that's like a mental health issue, you know. But also, I was then like, all the kids, they've got 3 kids, and they're all named after like Harry's sentimental shit. Like, where's Ginny's shit?
Yeah. What's the first kid called? Is he called James Sirius?
Yeah.
Okay. He should
What?
be called James Sirius Fred.
It has a really good ring to it. And the girl's called Lily as well.
Yeah, that's bullshit. He's so selfish.
Yeah.
What other women even are there in the Harry Potter world, though, to name your children after?
Honks.
Oh, yeah. Lily Nymphadora.
I mean, like, he gets both his parents' names in there, his godfather, the headmaster, and the teacher who hated him. And she's like, all right, darling.
Like, you don't have to name your children after dead people. Like, you could just honor the Weasley parents for all they did for you, for both
He's
of
like-
you.
They're like in the hospital, and she's like, And he's like over the other side of the room, like signing the papers. And she's like, Harry, can we get Fred in there? And he's like, shh.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Anyway.
What else? Back to the real life book.
Yeah, back to the book. Yeah, I found the whole search for the Horcruxes thing like quite drawn out. Like that first kind of third of the book or more.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the whole first. I mean, that whole first bit lasts a while where all the other stuff is happening. But yeah, it's nothing happens. But that's also like the point, you know?
Yeah, but it's like, again.
Yeah, I know, because it's just getting worse and worse, you know? Like, they're not finding anything. Everyone's getting grumpy and tired, and Ron's being angsty.
I was gonna say it doesn't start to get better until Ron leaves, but actually it's not true. It doesn't get better until he comes back.
Yeah, because he leaves and then Hermione just cries all the time. And Harry's like, oh.
Oh, she's just like, Cho.
These fucking women.
Oh, I miss Ginny. Oh, yeah, bro. It got to me so hard that, like, that scene where Ginny's like, I've got you some, I didn't know what to get you for your birthday. And then she kisses them, and it's like the most beautiful moment. And then Ron comes in. But then Harry just leaves.
I know.
He's not like, oh, fuck off, Ron. And then this is way more important than your stupid feelings. Like, fuck off. I'm going to finish my kiss and then I'll be back out with you in a minute or an hour. And like, he just goes off into the garden and he's like, oh, like being all stoic about it. It's like, bro,
yeah.
That could have been like your last chance.
It's that like stupid thing that people always write as well, where it's like, fuck off, like you, the older brother, don't have any say about it, like just move on.
Also, Ron's reading of it is real stunted as well. Like he's like, you're just like you dumped her, but now you're like jerking her around and shit and leading her on. And it's like, that's not even what's happening. She initiated it and they both understand the situation.
You're just a horny bitch, Harry. Leave my sister alone. Yeah, it's real stupid.
Ron really loses a lot of points over that book, eh?
Yeah, he's pretty shit across it, eh? Because he has all that racist stuff he says as well. That's like...
And he's immature and unreliable.
Yeah. Use some critical thinking, bro. But I guess if you've had Hermione doing your critical thinking for 6 years, he doesn't know what's up.
Don't know about that. Man, yeah, because I couldn't remember like how shit played out. When they went to like Godric's Hollow, I hadn't even remembered that Godric's Hollow was a place. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe they find something there. And they just found fucking Voldemort there.
Yes. Yeah, I remembered that, but from the movie more specifically. But I quite liked how it was done. It was like quite well written, that you didn't realize until after that she'd only spoken in Harry's presence.
Yeah.
She didn't say anything to Hermione. And then afterwards I was like, oh.
I know. Yeah, it was quite effective. I was like, no. Like the terror was quite palpable.
Yeah. Yeah, it was real like tense chapter.
And then he's like getting the vision of Voldemort coming in, and then like he sees himself outside the window.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's like the time turner all over again.
Yeah.
But this time it was his real dad. Also, they should have blasted Nagini when they had the chance.
I know, but I have questions about this because how does a Horcrux inside a living thing work? Like, because I assume because Harry is still a Horcrux after being bitten by a basilisk in the second book.
Minor plot hole.
Well, I mean, you could say that for the Horcrux to die, the vessel needs to die, right?
Yeah.
Because
He didn't really die, though, the second time.
No, but his heart stopped.
But the killing curse killed the part of him that...
How does that work? Like, that doesn't
I've
make
got
any
it.
sense.
I've got it.
Tell me.
This is totally how she wrote this book. She's like, oh, I've got it.
Yeah.
His mum's love only protected Harry's soul or whatever. So like the killing curse could like kill whatever else is left. And also I think his faith or his willingness to die was like tied in with that or something.
Yeah.
Self-sacrifice.
So yeah, I mean, then they couldn't have just fucked up Nagini then. Could they? No.
Yeah, why not?
Well, because they're like, we have to have the sword to kill the Horcruxes.
Harry is just a pussy. Like, why isn't he just like, as soon as he sees a snake, he's like, Avada Kedavra. I reckon that would have done it.
Snake?
Just in case. Every snake is like a Horcrux. You know, like, it's just so unreasonable / unrealistic that like they're in this like at the battle at the end too, and he's like Expelliarmus. It's like no.
Use something better, bro. Yeah. How does Voldemort die in the books?
You read them too.
I know, I can't remember. I've got COVID brain. It's not working properly.
At the very end, they're in like a duel in a circle, like a fucking dog fight with everyone around them on all sides jeering. And I think it's just after a couple of the other major fights, like Mrs. Weasley and Bellatrix. And Mrs. Weasley does kill her.
Yeah, badass. Good on her.
And someone else. But yeah, then it's like just them left. And he's like, fuck you, I'm going to duel you now. And then Harry like taunts him basically. Oh, fuck. I've got an important call coming. Sorry, hold on. I'm just going to pause it. Okay. Yeah, so like Harry starts explaining to Voldemort why he's wrong.
Yeah.
And he like, I think he kind of like breaks his confidence because he's like all this shit about how Snape was like actually Dumbledore's man and like Dumbledore cracked everything. Dumbledore figured all this shit out. And like that actually basically everything Dumbledore said was true and that Voldemort's a piece of shit. And then finally they both attack each other. Harry uses Expelliarmus and he wins. And Voldemort's spell rebounds onto himself again and it kills him.
Okay. How?
I don't know. How's that crackpot author how?
Okay.
Like, I think it's the same shit as every time. It's like all the love protecting Harry and his like faith and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like different in the movie. In the movie, there's like
Harry uses Avada Kedavra.
Yeah. He realizes he can't just be a bitch anymore. They're
like, fuck this. We're making Harry a real hero who uses violence.
Like, that's happening. They're both using their spells against each other, and it's like, locked stalemate. And then there's like a crack moving up the Elder Wand because it's not loyal to Voldemort, it doesn't work for him, and it like moves up the wand, and then it hits him, and then he like explodes into like confetti sort of stuff.
What the fuck? That's not right. Oh, because Harry also explains to him while they're like circling each other that he's not the true master because Snape wasn't the true master. Draco was, and then he disarmed Draco, which is what we were going to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We
How
can
the
go there
fuck
now.
does that work?
Well, he disarmed him, so then he's like the. I don't know, bro.
But then that implies that like if you like he wasn't using the Elder Wand then.
No.
He just had his Malfoy wand.
He never had the Elder Wand.
Yeah. But how can you disarm someone of something that they are not currently armed with?
Well, I think it's like according to the Elder Wand like goes with whoever's the strongest, and so if you defeat them, but everyone in the past it's always been killing them, but if it turns out if you're Harry Potter, you just have to defeat them, which it's not even defeating someone, just getting their wand.
No.
He could have like then been like beat the shit out of by Draco or something.
I was just gonna say Draco could just kick the shit out of him.
Yeah, because Harry, like, he can't use Expelliarmus on someone who doesn't have a wand, so he doesn't have any tricks left.
He's useless now.
And then he's just using Draco's wand for the whole rest of the book.
Yeah, that's funny, eh?
Oh yeah, because his wand gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Who fucks it up again?
It happens
With the Voldemort.
In the house, doesn't it?
In Godric's Hollow?
Oh. Maybe. Nah. I think it happened.
It's before they get captured.
So it happened in the Malfoy's house.
Nah, because like he steals a wand from those snatchers or whatever.
Oh yeah, and he has to borrow Hermione's wand all the time for a while.
It's got like that chody, like stubby wand, and it doesn't work because he didn't win it.
Yeah. All right, I guess so.
Man, you know when they're like sitting, they're like they're camping, and then like some goblins and Dean Thomas come down.
Yes.
I'm
and
like,
Tonks is dead.
Yeah, and Tonks is dead.
Yeah.
Why don't they hit them up?
I don't know.
That's bullshit. It's fucking, they do so much bogus shit. Like, why don't they get help? Why don't they talk to people? They're like so desperate for like human connection. And they're like,
yeah,
our friend Dean Thomas, let's just hide.
Let's just eavesdrop. One more thing about the disarming though. That implies then that every time someone disarms someone, their wand is like an allegiance to them.
Well, that is what happens because when they've tried to use other people's wands that they didn't win, it hasn't worked. But then he can use Draco's wand and shit.
Yeah, but like when Harry's willy-nilly using Expelliarmus on people, and then they get their wand back.
He must have so many wands to his name, bro.
So many wands.
Hundreds.
But then does that mean that when that person tries to use their wand again, it doesn't work so well for them? Like, that doesn't make any sense, bro.
Maybe it's not... What's that?
Like, when they're doing, like, defense against the dark arts, or not defense, Dumbledore's army lessons. And
maybe you have to mean it.
Like...
Yeah.
They're all just losing their wands.
Yeah, maybe you have to really mean it. Like the killing curses and shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure about. I mean, that would check out if she made that a constant thread through the whole thing of about all spells. Like you have to really put your intent into it.
Yes.
But like, maybe it's not all or nothing. Maybe it's more like a game, like where like if you do it with this much intention, you get the whole wand. But if you do it but if you're just like having these little jewels and shit, you just like lose a few points. So like you just like it's just a little bit less obedient, like a little bit less effective. But if you lose too many times, and then it's weaker, so you might lose again, and then like you lose a few times.
Stupid.
That's my theory.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's as valid as anything else, isn't it?
It's as valid as J.K. Rowling.
Yeah. That bitch doesn't know.
Nah, not really. You're supposed to research novels, bro.
What?
You're supposed to research novels.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to have done that at all.
I'm writing a novel about a genius who can't get anything done because of a monkey who keeps bothering him. Anyway.
Yeah. So they have that horrible time. They go to I guess after Ron's back, they go to Lovegood's house.
Yeah, which is another kind of ends up being a trap.
Yeah.
It's pretty like jarring how often it's a trap. Like how often it's like it's fucked. There's not much luck like there is in the other books.
Yeah. Shit just really is not going that well for them, eh?
Yeah, and the stakes are really high. Kind of. I mean, the book builds it up to make out like the stakes are really high. But if he'd failed, like how bad would it really have been?
Failed in what? In the finding of the Horcruxes?
Yeah, and if like Harry had just died or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Just different government.
Like it would have been about as bad as the English government now.
But racist.
Yeah, I guess they weren't really killing Muggleborns though, were they? They were like imprisoning them for like stealing magic.
I assumed that they were killing them or like getting the Dementors on them though,
Yeah, I think they take them to Azkaban or something.
Which is kind of a death sentence. It's just like a vague one.
Bro, when they break into the ministry, it's like so unrealistic how they like start trying to bust out all the Muggleborns and shit. Like the super like racist official guy who everyone knows is like this hard ass like racist guy. And he's like, no, actually, I'm freeing the slaves.
Had a change of heart. That shit is ridiculous, eh? And there's a bit where they just get in and Harry's like, fuck, we spent so much time planning on how to get in, we didn't think about what it would be like in here. And it's like, what? Are you fucking stupid?
You're telling me this now? I mean, like, yeah, they could have, they know a fair bit about what it's like in there. They could have asked Mr. Weasley.
Yeah, not like they know what the ministry is like and stuff, but they don't have a plan.
But they could have that's like time when they could have got help from someone. Like they could have been like, okay, Mr. Weasley, we can't tell you where we are, where we've been, blah blah blah, but we need you to give us this information and get a few hairs for us.
They see Mr. Weasley one day.
Yeah, they see him when they're in there.
And they're like, oh, there's Mr. Weasley. That's all. Fucking stupid.
No, he sees him in the elevator too, and then Percy comes in too, and it's real awkward.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Can't believe Percy doesn't come around until the battle. It's like, man. Really stuck with it for that long.
Yeah. Pretty fucking grim. What a dick.
Hey, why are the Weasleys still poor? Like, Arthur works for the government, which is probably not amazing pay, but not terrible. But they explain that he's never worked his way up the rungs because he's a blood trader and he's a Muggle lover.
Yes.
Muggle fetish. But even then, I mean, they've got a lot of kids, so they have to spread it out a lot. But then Charlie and Bill have good jobs.
Yes.
Are they just not helping?
I don't know, because it doesn't even make sense anyway, because they have magic. So like, you know, it's always like, oh, they're so like shabby and stuff. And it's like, but you can just magic things to be not that way.
Yeah, I thought that about Lupin too. Like, why does he always have
Yeah.
patched robes?
Yeah, just fix them. Maybe he just is into darning, you know. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't get the vibe from the way they describe it. But yeah, like apart from, and they've got farmland.
You can make more of stuff, you know? Like Harry does it when he's getting Slughorn and Hagrid drunk. He makes more like whiskey. So it's like you just need to buy like one sausage and then make more of it. And then you've got food forever.
Everyone, it's sausages this year.
But like, why the fuck are you poor then?
They should go on the only beef diet and like just have like get one cow and then like multiply every part of it. That really doesn't check out for me though. Like, why can you magically multiply food, but you can't create food from like nothing? Is it too complex or something?
That's one of the laws, though. I don't know.
That would make sense if it was too complex.
But also, if you can do that with meat, why can't you do that with, like, can you just clone a cow? Does it have to be dead?
They should have cloned Harry Potter, bro.
They should have.
No, don't get 12 fake Harrys. Get 12 real Harrys. And then they're actually disposable.
That's true. I wonder what that would mean for the Horcrux, though. Is that in one of them or in all of them?
That's it. Clone Harry and then kill the original. I solved it.
I'm with this shit.
Dumbledore could have thought of that.
Huh?
Dumbledore should have thought of that.
Yeah, well, that's part of like
Marty
the
Pants?
failing of all the wizards is that they like only think about magic, you know? Like, well, it's like, you know, Draco being like, well, I can't fight Harry because I don't have a wand. You can. There's lots of other things you can do apart from using your wand, bro.
They got a sword.
Throw something at him. Throw like a lamp at him, you know?
Spastic.
Yeah, pretty stupid.
You know when they get caught by the snatchers because he says Voldemort,
Yes.
and then like Hermione explodes his face and shit. In my memory, they got away that time because like they didn't recognize it was Harry and shit, but they didn't. They got taken to the Malfoys.
Yeah, that's not what happens.
Man, Greyback fucking makes me sick, eh? He's like the most sick character in the whole thing. He's worse than Voldemort.
He's horrible, way. He's disgusting.
Like eating people when he's in human form and shit.
That's fucked up. Yeah, and he like eats Lavender Brown. It's so sad.
Did she die?
I think so.
I'm gonna Google it.
Or she's just a werewolf now.
Sorry, what did you say? I muted you.
Or she's just a werewolf now. But I think she dies.
I'm pretty sure she was in the... Oh my god. I put in did Lav and it comes up, did Lavender Brown die?
They know.
Yes.
They're listening.
It says she did.
Yeah, right.
Oh, the book never explicitly says whether or not she died.
Yeah, in the movie, she's like very much dead.
Colin Creevy dies though.
Yeah, that's.
Oh,
sad.
and then he's a ghost at the end.
What?
Oh no, that was a meme. It's all up for grabs.
I think that would be cute if he was a ghost at the end. Harry tells his children to say hi to Colin.
He seems like the kind of like punk who would stick around.
Yeah, just to like watch Harry's descendants through the ages.
Watch Harry's kids like in the bath and shit.
Creepy.
But I'm pretty sure she was in the hospital wing at the end, like after all this shit.
Okay.
And I was like, she should get with Bill.
Bill's married, bro.
I don't care. Fleur turned into Harry Potter and she's ugly now.
Who cares? She drank too much and she's Harry forever. What about Charlie? She can marry Charlie.
Why would she marry Charlie?
Why would she marry Bill?
Because he's a werewolf.
Oh, got it. I think
Anyone
she
else?
did.
Was Greyback a wolf in that battle?
No,
Ugh.
I don't think so.
Man, why are you putting that shit in the fucking kid's book?
Yeah, gross, eh?
You know, she said that like werewolfism is like a metaphor for pedophilia.
What? Wait, what?
Oh no, it was AIDS. No, sorry, it was AIDS. I just totally made that up. Man, see what's going on in my brain.
Oh my god.
Man, that would be fucked up. It was. And it's like it contracts something. That's why Lupin's so cut about having like a younger girlfriend because he's like, I can't go there.
Oh my god. Yeah, Greyback is obsessed with biting children though.
Yeah, I think that's where I got my wires crossed. That's extra fucked. He's like a pedo who's like intentionally spreading AIDS to kids.
Yeah, what the fuck, eh?
But AIDS doesn't give you kind of super strength and shit. Also, like,
No. It's
I
just
don't know.
like ostracization that is the metaphor, right?
I guess so.
Being a werewolf is like having AIDS.
Yeah, but like, I kind of thought it, like a vampire, it should give you some more like supernatural things, like supernatural strength and like vitality or something, even when you're not a wolf.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
Lupin's
no.
like always tired and shit.
Yeah, it's because he's up gallivanting all night.
Nah, it's because he's repressed.
Yeah.
It's because
think
he's
Lupin's,
resisting it.
Character, eh?
Hmm?
He's a sad guy.
Yeah,
Um,
in the closet.
yeah. Yeah, I think they don't really say anything about being a werewolf that much. Lupin's like, I don't want to talk about it. And Bill's like, I don't know what it means for me. You know?
He ends up he likes rare steak now.
Yeah, that's not really anything, is it?
Well, he wasn't a wolf when he bit him.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Is your wolf saliva different from your human saliva?
Well, apparently. But he got
Alright.
fully mauled, eh?
You got all fucked up in the face.
Yeah,
Bummer.
yeah. Actually, a lot happens in the last book, eh? And after that dead period of nothing happening for ages.
Yeah, well, even some of the stuff that's happening then, like they go to Godric's Hollow and Harry sees his parents' grave for the first time and the house. And
Yeah, why has he never gone there?
yeah, I don't know. I also really agree with Harry of like, why the fuck didn't Dumbledore ever tell him that he like lived in Godric's Hollow too?
That Dumbledore did. Or
Yeah.
that either of them did.
No, like Harry knew he was born in Godric's Hollow
Oh, yeah.
and that's where the house, like it all happened and that's where his parents died. But Albus lived there too and didn't tell him that he lived there too.
Yeah, maybe he's got dark feelings about his youth there.
I guess so. Harry really has like angsty feelings about it though.
Yeah. Well, he's a teenager.
He's like, why didn't he trust me?
Because you're a sappy little bitch.
You're a child, mate.
Even after he's like,
Older
I've
than you.
decided, actually, you are a man and I'm going to tell you everything. And he doesn't.
No. I'm gonna tell you that I'm gonna tell you everything, but I won't.
Oldest trick in the book.
Classic. What else happens? They go there.
They go to
They go to Malfoy's.
yeah, they're like doing this like tour of people's houses.
Yeah. That's when things start picking up. Because then they're with Grip Hook, Ollivander, and Luna.
Oh yeah.
Bells. That's when Dobby dies. Oh.
Yeah, Dobby dies. How does he die again?
Bellatrix stabs him in the face.
The Bellatrix.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. See, this is.
Or
I get
Wormtail.
lost. No, Wormtail dies in the cellar.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dobby dies. Yeah. Yeah, because she doesn't have a wand.
She throws.
She
it
throws
looks
a
in the
knife.
movie, she throws a knife and it hits Dobby as they're. I was going to say evaporating, disapparating.
Oh well. I mean, like, Dobby really didn't add that much to the plot. Or the
No,
world.
it's
No,
just
he
like
added to the plot, but he wasn't a very good character, really.
No, because he wasn't really ever given much personality apart from I would do anything for you, Harry Potter.
And I
You
like
know?
socks.
Yeah. That's true. That was integral to his personality.
Yeah, like he's like the kind of poster boy for Spew, but that's about it. It doesn't really have like I mean, but maybe house elves don't really have personality, but then they're not really characters.
Yeah, well, I feel like Creature has more personality than him.
Yeah.
Because Creature has a whole hidden like motivation, I guess, that isn't actually about your blood status or whatever. It's just about like, are you nice to me?
Well, I guess they all do. You know, like they all kind of love their families and are like super committed to their families, except Dobby, who hated them and wanted to be freed. He's like the only one who wanted to be freed.
He still says when he goes back to the Malfoys and he's like, oh, you know, like, I don't like being here or something.
Yeah.
You know, like it's weird to be back in my master's house. I think I felt like his death was sad because it was just like another death in the book. And it was just like, fuck, all these people die in this one. And it just keeps coming, you know?
Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of the deaths were like not really purposeful. Like, they didn't really add anything.
No, I think most of them were just for like,
Shock
she was
value.
like, well, if we're going to have a war, I'm going to have to kill some people. And what will be most sad? Like, one of the twins, the brand new parents that only fairly recently got together.
And token characters like Dobby and Hedwig.
Yeah. But then they also go do a really like poorly thought out heist of Gringotts.
Yeah,
They
that
did.
was far-fetched.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Like,
That whole thing was crazy. Like,
they
if you
get
could
caught.
just use the Imperius curse to get in to Gringotts, it's not fucking impenetrable, is it? Like,
Someone must have thought of that before. Like, go in an invisibility cloak,
yeah. They're
bewitch a
just putting a
goblin.
huge amount of faith in that people are gonna like keep the law. But like, if you're gonna break into a bank, what incentive do you have to not break that law as well?
Bro,
Useless.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, the fact that they get in is pretty unbelievable, and then the fact that they get out is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, the fact that they get out is just like ridiculous.
And then they're just flying a dragon across the countryside.
Yeah. And they don't even have the sword anymore as well.
And because they're not connected with anyone, they don't have any information, you know, like they're not like why does no one tell them that like there's a curfew alarm thing that goes off in Hogsmeade?
Yeah. Yep. Because they don't talk to anyone. No one knows where they are or if they're even alive.
But just before that, like a couple of days before that, they were at Bill's.
Mm.
Hey, that's my art.
Yeah. That's in my room. I guess
They were
don't
Bill's
know.
for ages.
Are they like, why would they be going to Hogsmeade though?
But they've got like all this, they're all connected. Like they should have like a bunch of information.
Yeah, when they're all like in talk to Aberforth as well, aren't they?
Jenny was at Hogwarts.
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 Yes. I mean, I don't know. No one tells them nothing. But also they don't really ask, you know?
Yeah, that's
They're
weird.
just like, okay, we've got to go. Like, I guess nobody tells them some things because they're like, why would this be relevant to you? I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, maybe they were never really planning to go to Hogwarts until they realized that something was there.
Yeah.
Which was actually after they like get off the dragon.
What happens after they get off the dragon?
Voldemort finds out that someone knows about the Horcruxes,
Oh.
and then he has all these flashes of all the places where they are. Oi.
What?
Oh, what?
My phone's ringing. My
Yeah, your
computer's
phone's ringing.
Sorry.
What are you?
It's
That's
like-
really unprofessional.
Shut the fuck up. It's over. It's done.
It's over.
Um,
Yeah, and then he's like, it is Hogwarts. And then he like finds that ghost and she's like, yeah, I told a nice boy about it. It's like pretty weak, eh? Like some of those connections. Like it's like,
yeah, it's pretty dumb. I quite like all the like. It was cool to see everyone doing their own rebellions at Hogwarts. You know, like Neville's like the big rebellious guy now. I liked that.
yeah, it's all right. It's a bit cheesy.
Yeah, it's like just nice, I guess, you know.
He's also like super
I-
proud of it in like kind of like a kind of like goofy way.
Yeah. I didn't know that or like didn't remember at all that Aberforth is the bartender of the Hogshead.
Yeah, same.
That was a big surprise to me. And then I was like, whoa. Because there's that bit where Dumbledore says how he's like really close with the bartender of the Hogshead and he keeps him informed about stuff. And it's like,
Yeah.
because he's your brother.
Yeah, like he actually does drop a lot of hints, eh? And
Yeah.
just backtracking to right at the beginning of the book, you know, like he leaves them all those objects and like the minister guy like really wants to know why, and they're like, I don't fucking know. Like what?
I know. It seems so obvious that like Dumbledore would have known that he can't bequeath the sword to them. Like that seems like kind of really obvious that it's not actually his. He just had it.
Yeah,
He
well,
would
they
have
talk
known
about that.
he couldn't do that. Yeah, but they're like, they don't then think, well, maybe he's just trying to tell us that the sword is important for something else, you know?
Yeah, and like, yeah, it's a pretty vague hint though, because like Snape has it too. And like then Snape's pretending that he doesn't know that the thing's fake. That was a really good plot twist, actually. The fact that like Snape and Phineas were actually kind of like trying to get information through the portrait to like help them.
Yeah, that was funny, eh? I thought it was funny that she took the portrait of him. Like smart, but crack up. Just
Yeah,
like,
that's
you're
crackhead.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of the plot gets like a lot of the like setup and like character profiles and shit get distorted for the point of the plot. And it's like you know, like Hermione's so smart, but then she just like doesn't put a whole bunch of shit together and can be like real like ignorant of certain possibilities because then it would get resolved too quickly, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that whole bit where Harry's following the doe through the forest and stuff.
Oh my god, I was like, whose is it?
It's like, who the fuck is doing that?
Yeah, I couldn't, but I was like, is this already Aberforth coming in? Like, who the fuck has a dog? It's such a major plot point. I can't believe I didn't remember it.
I know, same. It's like, I just was bewildered. I was like, well, that's crazy, bro.
Well, I was also like, oh, maybe it's not a Patronus. Like, maybe it's like a spirit of his mum or some shit.
That's what I thought too. Just a forest spirit.
It's feasible. Also, how the fuck did he know they were there?
Because they explain that it's because like Hermione gets something out of the purse and Phineas hears her say Forest of Dean. And Snape's like, oh my god, now's my chance.
Snape's like traipsing around in the forest all night in his black cloak, like looking like a fucking pervert, and then like
creeping around.
Finally, actually, how the fuck does he even find their camp?
I don't know. I think he just wanders around until Harry sees him.
He sends the doe wandering around.
Yeah, and then he comes out of the protection of the camp.
Yeah, it is quite touching at the end where he like reveals all his thoughts to Harry. I mean his memories.
Yeah, that's a nice time. It is so sad, that whole end bit. I saw a video of it's like in the first movie when Hermione's like running to hug Harry after like he's defeated Quirrell and stuff. And then as they're hugging, it cuts to when she's hugging him after he's like, I'm gonna go die now. And I was like, oh, it's really sad, bro.
What?
But that doesn't happen in the books.
No, he doesn't tell anyone.
No, he says something to Neville.
No, he doesn't tell him he's going to die. He's like, oh, I've just got to go do something.
Yeah, he says something, and Neville's like, are you going to meet Voldemort? And he's like, nah.
He's like, all right, have a good one then, all right. Bye. Fucking gullible old Neville.
I know. Sweet. Yeah. I quite like.
Yep. Does the thinking hat Sorting Hat have like a permanent portal to the sword of Gryffindor.
I guess so. I mean, they're both Gryffindor's objects, so there's like must be a tie between them or something.
Yeah.
Because the sword comes out of the hat in the second one as well, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
And it was like lost until then, so it must be able to teleport to there from wherever it is.
Yeah, because it presents itself to a Gryffindor in need. So I guess just nobody needed it until Harry needed it.
Which is lols as, because like Griphook like went all the effort of getting it back, and then it's like just disappears one day.
Yeah. I thought that stuff was interesting though. Like, I would like to know more about how those other magical creatures' societies works, you know?
Yeah, and histories and shit.
Yeah. Well, like, it's so interesting that their view of ownership is just really different from ours.
Well, it's
Like,
a really apt like metaphor too, because it's not only that they're not included fully in the human wizard society, but human wizard society obviously doesn't have access to their knowledge and history either,
Yeah.
which is cool. And it's kind of like the same with fucking Western colonialism and shit. Like,
Yeah, or like,
you know, we're like,
maybe
we've got all these cool ideas about science and shit, and it's like, and then every other culture's like, yeah, we kind of had those for thousands of years, and you're kind of just figuring it out now.
you guys just thought of that?
Yeah, it's like this like quantum shit, and it's like, yeah, that's what chi is, bro. You know, like every elder from around the world is like, yeah, what are you talking about? That's like, that's the thing that we've been talking about this whole time.
I know, like when like Western science discovered that like mycelium was linking up all trees and forests, and all indigenous cultures were like, yeah, like
no way.
Like, a forest is one thing, you know, forever, but you guys are just like, no, trees are separate, and the dirt is not anything but just like inanimate dirt.
This tree is here and that tree is over there. I can say it.
It's
Anyway.
different.
Yeah, that it was interesting. Like all that like stuff about the dynamics between goblins and humans was interesting too. But
Yeah,
fair enough. If like you made this thing, it's like it's your baby. Then it's like, all right, you can have it till you die. But why should your fucking kids get it?
Yeah.
Same with wealth and shit, mate, isn't it?
Yeah. Distribute wealth. Yeah, really, that was really the height of Ron's being pretty racist as well.
Yeah, like real straight prejudice.
Yeah.
And
Whereas
actually Bill's a bit like that. I mean, Bill's a bit more like...
Yeah, less so. He seems to be more like not trying to be like goblins are shit and dumb and stuff, but just but
wary.
A heads up that their society works quite differently from ours. So don't like, you know, you might be having miscommunications because you guys aren't really talking about the same thing.
But then also, Griphook fucking steals it at the end and runs off without helping them get out.
Yes.
Oh, he didn't say he would help them get out, but...
No, he's like, oh, I said I'd get you in here. Bye.
But he was a dick about it, and it's like, oh, come on. You could have had the goblin character, like, kind of do a good thing.
Yeah, right? Because, like, it's in his interest. I guess he doesn't really know what they're up to, but it is in his interest that they have the sword.
They were kind of planning to like sneak him a little bit though.
Yes, which I think is why he steals it, because he's like, I know you guys are always, you know, whispering about shit and I don't trust you, so you can't trust me.
The thing about like the like random deaths throughout the book and shit too is it's like there's some things that are so overly convenient, like them getting in and out of the Ministry and Gringotts on a dragon, like, but then it's like, but it's not convenient enough so that Fred doesn't have to die. Like, you know, like it's like you could have a few more simple conveniences that make a nice story, and then like omit some of like the outrageous conveniences and make it a bit more logical throughout like those bits. Like, how does the dragon even like know to fly off? Can it even fly after like probably hundreds of years of being stuck in a cave and being blind and like?
No, its wings would be withered to nothing. There's no muscle there anymore because it can't work out, you know?
If they were keeping dragons like that, they would definitely fuck the wings up, like just in case. And also, how does it even get out? Like, that's wild that it can even fit out.
Well, in the movie, it breaks through the floor of Gringotts, the bank, and then breaks out, you know?
Yeah, but getting to there, like the building is the most fragile part of the structure.
Yeah, it's just like an underground cave system that it just powers through.
I'm not convinced.
I would be convinced if it was just a dragon, but because it's a dragon that's been kept underground and like tortured for however long, that doesn't make any sense.
And they like don't get fucked up at all, like on its back, like crawling through caves and breaking through like a massive stone building and shit.
Like one of them would have been at least partially squished against something else.
Ron.
Stupid.
Could have dropped Ron off at that point, I reckon, and kept Fred.
Yeah. Moved on. Got another Weasley. They should have left Ron at Hogwarts and taken Ginny.
They should have left Ron at the wedding and then taken that random extra cousin.
They should have taken the thing in the attic.
The ghoul would have been more use than Ron. It wouldn't have been such a like hissy fit hassle guy.
It would have been a dick.
It wouldn't have said anything either though.
Wouldn't have made Hermione cry. Oh.
Okay, and like just back to the ending thing, like there's just like it ends on him just standing in Dumbledore's office, right?
What do you mean?
Like he goes up to Dumbledore's office.
Is that true?
Or it's like he goes and finds... Yeah, I think so. Anyway, there's something like that.
Yeah.
Or it like ends with him like going in... Yeah, like he goes and like finds Ron and Hermione in the Great Hall, right? And then they like go for a walk or some shit.
Yeah.
But like, there's no like, you know, find Ginny and talk to her. Talk to like this, like he's like, yeah, and there were just heaps of people trying to talk to him. It's like, but what are they saying? That's what I want to know.
I know, it's so abrupt. She just like wraps up the events and then is like, well, that's enough of that. And it's like, well, bro, nah. What about like, I want to know, you've made me care about these characters over 7 years and all these books. Like, I care about how they're feeling.
Yeah, and not even just, not even like I want to know, but I want to see it happen. You know, like I want Harry and Ginny to go on a date to Diagon Alley and everything's happy again and they're like just at a cafe, you know?
Yeah.
Or like Ron and Hermione too. Like,
yeah.
And I think Dean and Luna couple up as well.
Oh, cute.
Like, because they're like at the hideaway together with the Weasleys.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, like see a bit of like the shit coming back together after all this like traumatic shit, you know, and like see the payoff. Like you don't get to see any of the payoff, and then you get this like one scene at the end at the fucking Hogwarts Express, and it's like super tropey or like tokenistic.
Yeah, it's also 20 years later. Like, of course, we're all interested in what happened in the meantime.
Yeah, it's like they had kids, right? The oldest kid's like 13 or 12.
Yeah.
And like, so that means that there were 8 years before they even had kids, which is
what
ages.
Were they doing?
Exactly.
It's just poor writing. It feels like she got bored.
Yeah. She's like, okay, that's done. Okay, bye.
You know what? Fuck you guys. I want to keep you guessing for the next like 20 years. Keep giving me money.
Didn't even give a shit.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty weak, eh?
Yeah, because like, you know, like the thing that's really like dragging or like kind of like stressful or whatever through that, especially that last book, is like all the things that are at stake, you know? Like it's like if he doesn't do this like super difficult task, like all the stuff, like all the possibility of the future is gone. But then it's like you don't get to see that anyway. So it's like, oh well, they may as well have all just fucking died.
Yeah. Doesn't mean any different for us, eh?
Oi, though, also, you know, like just before they start that big battle and everyone comes, and he's like, I need to get into Ravenclaw Tower. Or like, no, I need to find the diadem. And then like, Cho's like, I'll take you up to Ravenclaw Tower. And Ginny's like, no, Luna's gonna take him.
That's funny, eh? Little light moment.
Lol, Cho. Cho's still trying to like have a go.
Yeah. Cho. What's she even doing there?
She came with like the other people who had graduated and shit to fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's like after a bunch of people started coming through that miraculous tunnel, which comes out in the Room of Requirement.
Yeah, well, the Room of Requirement made the tunnel.
Did it?
Yeah.
No, that was on the Marauders map, I think.
No, because Neville says that they know about all the marked tunnels in and out. And they all retreated to the Room of Requirement, and then Neville one day was like, man, I really need a way to get food. And then the tunnel opened up to the Hogshead.
Yeah.
And Aberforth has been feeding them.
Adolf?
Yeah.
Good old Adolf. How about how Harry's like got the Marauders map when they're like traipsing around the forest doing actually nothing, and he's just like watching Ginny?
So
That's
funny.
fucked up.
So weird, bro.
It's like watching Ginny's like, yeah, Ginny's on the toilet now. Yeah, Ginny's
so
like,
good.
Ginny's in the common room. Ginny's in Transfiguration and shit. It's like
He's a weird dude.
stalkerish and meaningless because they can't even see her. It's like just her name.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't give any information other than where she is. Bro,
instead of trying to give him a kiss, she should have given him nudes, and they would have been moving nudes.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I think that's probably wraps up number 7.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else.
I was a bit disappointed that at the end he hadn't really made any progress with Draco over the last 20 years. They kind of just like acknowledged each other, and it's like, bro,
like a nod to each other. Like, okay, what's the beef now?
Like ultimately they went through an ordeal together. Like everyone who was involved went through this ordeal together, and especially everyone who came out the other side without landing themselves in prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Prejudiced.
Because like he saves him.
Who does?
He saves Draco at the like from that fire, and then he tells his mum about it, and that's how he saves his own life too. There's kind of like I don't know. I think it deserved more like attention.
Yeah, well, it kind of just is like, oh, they're kind of just as bad as each other, you know?
But I think that whole ordeal should have like overcome their like, you know, rivalry or whatever.
Yeah.
Or made it into like a positive rivalry. Like, yeah.
Just competitive now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's our that's it.
That's Harry Potter.
That's Harry Potter for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it.
I can't think of anything else.
Oh, there was like, I actually was like so relieved when they went back to Grimmauld Place, and then they had this like space and they could like kind of chill out a bit and think, and then like they made up with Creature and it was all really nice and shit. She fucking took that away from us as well.
I really liked that, and the like having to apparate and disapparate just from the top step, and like the people watching them would catch a glimpse of this or that and be like, oh my god, and then that's all. I thought that was cool. Yeah, I really liked the like, you know, Creature stuff. I thought that was really sweet, and he's like a really good homemaker and really takes care of them. It was really cute.
Yeah, and it tied together a bunch of that stuff about the blacks and like, I don't know.
And like when they can't go back, when Ron gets splinched and they have to leave Grimmauld Place, and Harry's like feeling really bad thinking about Creature with whatever it was he was making for dinner, like waiting for them to come home. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why they couldn't, like, he can summon Creature anywhere.
Yeah, they were worried that someone would catch a ride. Hitchhike on Creature.
Always, like, grabbed onto Creature now.
Yeah. Also, that first scene where they like run away and they go into that cafe.
Yeah.
And then they get caught immediately.
Yeah.
Man, I was like, fuck. I didn't remember any of that shit as well. I was like, what the fuck? They're getting caught already.
I remembered that because I remembered about the taboo quite well. So when that happened, one of them says Voldemort, and I was like, oh my god.
I remembered about the taboo too, but I don't know. I was still like, it's too soon.
Yeah, I know. It's all just go then, you know? Like, it's all kind of tense for the first bit of the book, and you're like, oh, I know it's not going to be good, and then it's not good. And then that's it for the rest of the book. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not good for anyone.
Cool. That's that.
Yeah, good one.
Well, if you enjoyed our Harry Potter series in detail, we're gonna do more. Stay tuned for the next stuff.
The next installment.
Yeah, we're gonna do his Dark Materials.
Yeah.
I think we should actually read the new ones too, which I haven't read yet.
Yeah, I started the first new one, but it was just not like the right time. I couldn't really get into it.
Yeah, I reckon like when you're on, if you get a warm up on the original ones and then you like, everything's in context.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Bro, we're on camera. Okay.
No,
Thanks everyone for watching. This has been a great series, if I do say so myself. And we're definitely going to do more because it's really cool and fun. and podcasts are all the rage.
Everybody's got one.
Yeah, and we wouldn't count if we didn't have one. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.